Hello and welcome to another episode of Small Talk with Centers for New Horizons. My name is Cassandra Townsend. I'm a youth case manager with the Centers for New Horizons, and my guest co-host today is
Jacoby Ramey, Centers for New Horizon, youth case manager, housed inside of Phillips High School.
Thank you, Mr. Jacoby. First off, what we're going to talk about today is investing in a college degree worth it. As spring approaches, high school students and parents and families will be making the decision where they will continue their higher education. Questions that are being asked include, will I stay home? Will I go away? Will I attend a 2-year community college, a 4-year university, or will I obtain a trade? One of the things that we hope with this show today is to give young people some of the options and just to, let them know that there are resources out here to help them with this path of probably higher education or secondary education or trade and vocations. I know it may seem like this task is overwhelming, but with early planning and preparation, it's a feat that's possible. And however, you will just have to put in the work. Now, before we get started, I want to say we are a live show. And if you want to call in or make a comment, you can do so and give us a call in. And we're Centers for New Horizons, 4150 South King Drive Avenue in Chicago. Our website is www.cnh.org. Our phone number is 773-373-5700. Again, that's 773-373-5700. There are several websites in various places that are available, Jacoby, that will help provide resources for the young people. Agencies such as ourselves, Centers for New Horizons, there are high school counselors, as well as churches who may have information that will help the young person make the decision on how they want to pursue higher education or vocational training. Again, this is a live show. We're Centers for New Horizons. Give us a call at 312-738-1060. Again, 312-738-1060 if you have a comment or question about any of the material that we're covering today. One of the first things that we will address with trying to go to college is the financial aid process. And it's called FAFSA, and that's FAFSA. Now, Mr. Jacoby, will you just kind of give us a little background on when you went to college and how was your financial aid process and how did that work?
Well, I remember in my senior year, we would go to the computer labs and our guidance counselors would make us apply for FAFSA.
Yes.
A lot of things people don't know that FAFSA pays a mass majority, especially in the urban community.
Yes.
With aid for schooling.
Okay.
You have what is called the PAYO grant and you have the MAP grant. And that is a lot of money that is serviced through the year, but when it's gone, it's gone. So you have to apply for it often, you have to apply for it early.
Yes. Okay. That's good to know. Well, just to give you a few statistics, 71% of full-time college students receive some form of financial aid, whether it's through grants, through loans, as well as work study. That's federal money. And then there's also the state provides some additional monies for students. So, again, I would suggest as a student or a young person, it's never too early to start looking at different avenues and methods on how you plan on paying for college. The U.S. Department of Education and the FAFSA website provide a wealth of information related to preparing for college. Okay, again, this is a live broadcast. We're the Centers for New Horizons. Give us a call at 312-738-1060. Again, 312-738-1060. If you have any questions or comments regarding higher education and how you can best prepare your young adult or young person to prepare for college. The next thing that we want to address, Jacoby, is the when you're preparing for college, you have to create a list of some of your likes, some of your dislikes. What climates do you prefer? Cold, these are things you may not even think about just every day, but when you're planning to go to college, and also if you're planning to go away, you need to think about those things. Do you want to be at the beach?
Well,
you should be studying.
Yeah, definitely.
Or do you want to be in the mountains, the snow-capped mountains? So again, we have to make that list and decide what are some of the things.
Definitely.
So what helped you decide on what college that you were attending, that you attended?
I had several different things on my mind when applying for school.
Okay.
I stayed in state. I went to a private university. I went to Robert Morris University.
Okay.
Robert Morris Eagles, go Eagles.
All right.
But I wanted to stay in the city and kind of be in the downtown area.
Okay.
That was a good decision for me, I think.
All right. I see we have a caller. Hi. Welcome to Small Talk. How may I help you?
Good evening. With the new administration that came in, the president already cut the Department of Justice budget. When you talk about the EEOC and you're looking at who we have in place in terms of the U.S. Attorney General, in terms of enforcement of certain civil rights.
Okay.
Now, education going to get the X as well.
Okay.
And a person like the current president, he's not so wonderful when it comes to higher education.
Okay.
And we're going to have that sort of idea again that college education is going to be sort of for the elite. If you can't afford it somehow, it's not going to happen, because when we look in terms of how the grants, we want to talk about the Pell and how those got first started. The grandfather of them all was the GI Bill.
Okay.
And you got a lot of those senators and congressmen didn't want to vote for that because they think that the colleges and universities are going to be like a bunch of hobos going. I'm serious. You can look this up and see for yourself, because the current president, he's not crazy about helping people that cannot go to college on their own.
Okay.
And they're going to be cut out.
Well, how I would like to respond to that is that historically we have always found a way. When some of our ancestors were working on farms or working inside homes, there was still a way, before there were ever even any grants and loans, that there were provisions that were made and sacrifices made for family members to attend college. So
I understand what you're saying. Those provisions, we would not have like a Bill Clinton, we would not have a Barack Obama.
Yes.
And those type of provisions going to be cut out. We may not have no people like them coming up in the near future.
Okay.
Those things going to be cut out.
Okay.
I hope to God I'm wrong.
Okay. I appreciate, your comment, but again, we as a people have to continue to be resourceful and how we're going to go about educating our children. One instance, again, we have to make some sacrifices. But again, thank you so much for your call. There's another caller. This is Small Talk. May I help you?
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask a question.
Yes.
Why should I even go to college to be in debt when people with high school diplomas have the potential to make more money than me? City workers, just to name a few.
Okay, that's something that I did plan to address later in the show, but every college may not be for everyone. But in my research, we found that there are some positions. That's why I said college. There's a 2-year option, a 4-year option, and there's also the trade and vocation. And there's some positions in the trades and vocations that are some of the highest paid positions in the country. So college may not be for everyone, but there are other options. There are trade options. Like one particular position that I found in my research for this show was a cardiovascular technologist. This person makes almost $100,000 a year, helping persons prepare for heart surgery. So again, that's not a position where you have to go to college for, but you can make a comfortable wage. So again, whether it's a 2-year college, 4-year college. Now, normally over a lifetime, people who have bachelor's degrees tend to make more than, say, if you have an associate degree, but that's still not etched in stone. So again, it depends on the person. It depends on what area you decide that you want to go into. And I was just amazed at some of the positions that do not require a college degree, and you can make a comfortable wage. So we can stay encouraged on that part too. Thank you so much for your call. Again, this is a live show. We're Centers for New Horizons. Our telephone number here is 312-738-1060. Again, if you have any questions or comments, and I appreciate the comments that we're receiving today, some very good points being made. So keep the calls coming. We appreciate that. The next point that I want to suggest for a young person when they're going away to school, or if they want to go away to school, you should consider, do you want a diverse background, or what exactly are you looking for as far as meeting people, activities? I work with students every day at Phillips High School here in Chicago, and some of the things that I've been told, they say, well, Ms. Townsend, I just want to meet different people. I want to meet different ethnic groups and different cultures, and I'm always excited to hear young people saying they want to expand or explore the horizons of this world. It's a big world out here, so I'm always glad to hear when a young person says that they want to expand themselves and meet different people and different cultures. I also asked them, what type of activities do you participate in? Are you into sports, or are you just into academics? All of these things are factors you may want to consider when you're going away to college, or if you want to stay here. We have another caller. Thank you for calling. How may I help you?
Yes, good evening to you and the young gentleman next to you. You know what gets me is that you were talking earlier about going to school, trades, construction and stuff like that.
Yes, yes.
But you know what gets me? There's 3 projects now. There's 3 big projects in Chicago. That not one black or Hispanic owned construction company have a hand in. Nothing.
Okay.
So how can we get ahead when we can't even get in the door? And you know what gets me? Every 4 years, you vote for the same people that put us and keep us in the same situation. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. This issue that you're talking about, I've addressed it before on Small Talk, where I suggest that we have got to make our elected officials accountable. Exactly what you just said, whether you start at the grassroots through your church or an organization, we have to hold them accountable. And just like you said, when you don't see people of color on these job sites, these are things that have to be taken up with our legislators. and also, just letting them know we have a voice. We need work. We need jobs also. So again, that's what I encourage you to be a part of a grassroots organization or some type of organization that's going to get your agenda and your message out to your legislator. We've got to come out and vote. We've got to get back to voting and making our people or our elected officials accountable. And those are things that we have to speak to them on. And thank you so much for that call. I appreciate that. When we talked about the sports and academics, the other thing I want to talk about with the young person is to continue to work on your GPA. That's like really critical that you continue to work on your GPA. Jacoby, did you want to talk a little bit about what maintaining your GPA can do for you when it comes to secondary education or higher education?
It makes a big difference because a lot of schools, they look at your SAT or ACT scores, but a lot of them look at the grades. You might have did bad on the SAT or the PSAE or the ACT, but if you had a good, strong GPA and you participated in sports or you're active in the community, they're likely consider you even more. So you always have to make yourself stick out. If you stick out, you'll definitely be looked upon.
And I like that because one of the things about keeping your GPA high or keeping it up is that increases your opportunity to get more scholarships or additional monies for school. And the other thing that I really want to stress to a young person is to research. There are various scholarships out here that you'll be surprised. There may be a scholarship because someone is left-handed. You may get an additional scholarship because your mother, picked flowers. I mean, I'm just throwing hypothetical situations out there, but you would be surprised at some of the money that's out there for you. So you have to research it.
First person to college,
The first person going to college, that could be an additional money for you. Again, those individuals that are STEM people, science and math and engineering, there's additional money for that. Maybe you want to go into education. There's certain areas, if you go into education, that you will command a higher salary. I know in the math and sciences, they're always looking for more math and science. So just take whatever it is that you like and allow that to help you, either generate you more money or opportunities for college. Again, this is a live show. This is Centers for New Horizons. Our number here is 312-738-1060, 312-738-1060. And that number is for if you have any questions or comment that you would like to give us. We are also here from Centers for New Horizons. Our address is 4150 South King Drive in Chicago. Our web address is www.cnh.org. Our number is 773-373-5700. Now, one of the next item that I wanted to address, Jacoby, is deciding. Again, we had the young lady call a few minutes ago and say, well, why should I go to college if someone who does not have a degree is making more money? Whatever is comfortable for you. Everybody does not want to go to a 4-year university. There are 2-year universities, 2-year colleges, 4-year universities, and there are trade school and vocation schools. So again, just do the research. What's comfortable for you? What are your, expectations as far as salary go? So let that be one of the determining factors. Go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. what they offer there, they can give you salaries on various positions as well as salaries and just whatever type of job you're interested in. Give them a look at. Go to their website. Compare the cost. 2-year colleges, they're a little bit less than a 4-year university. Some of the research we did today, Mr. Jacoby stated how $4,000 per semester at a junior college, as opposed to
less.
Oh yes, yes. And then at a private 4-year university, that can go up to as much as $35,000 a semester or a year, and a public university $14,000 a year. So look at the various options that you have. Your family, you will sit down, consider out-of-state fees. Consider again, look at what area you may want to go in. These are all things that you have to consider and you have to put in your budget.
Definitely.
Okay. Again, let's see. We're Centers for New Horizons at 4150 South King Drive, Chicago 60653. Our phone number is 773-373-5700. So again, when looking at colleges and universities, we want you to, again, look at your budget, sit down with your family to decide, you know, if you're going to pay the out-of-state fees, if you want to stay home. There are also options. You may, if you want some diversity, you can look there, or you may want to consider an historical black college. So there are so many options, but I strongly suggest you doing the research. We have a call. Thank you for calling Small Talk.
There's one of the options people are not considering. Say if you plan on going to Northwestern, you could start out as a junior college.
Yes.
Cut your costs.
Yes.
And you can look at those catalogs and you can look at those course numbers.
Yes.
And see when it comes time to transfer over to someplace like Northwestern.
Yes.
Will you get the majority of your credits be transferable in order to cut costs? And you can still wind up getting a degree for Northwestern.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
place you may want to wind up getting that 4-year degree from.
Yes.
That's an option.
That's an excellent option. And one of the things with that, a lot of times you can start out at the junior college level and you can have that, you can really increase your grade point average, because we talked about that. So then when you transfer over, you're already maintaining an A or B average, so you will just continue that. So that's one of the things, that's an excellent suggestion that you just made, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Again, it doesn't make a difference. It's not etched in stone to say that you have to have a 4-year degree. You can have a 2-year degree or an associate's degree. You can have a trade or vocation. Again, all of these are opportunities and options that you have that can help you really have a comfortable salary and have a comfortable lifestyle. I appreciate all the calls that we received today. I thank you so much. Again, we are Centers for New Horizons. We're located at 4150 South King Drive, Chicago, Illinois. Our website is www.cnh.org. Our phone number is 773-373-5700. Mr. Jacoby, did you want to close out with anything regarding the youth, or any suggestions that you can give to them regarding going to college or away to college?
I definitely just ask all the students to stay motivated, stay encouraged. Also asked all the students to watch the deadlines. There are deadlines out here.
That's critical.
For the FAFSA, the applications for the colleges and colleges and university. So definitely look out for the deadlines, because you don't want to miss those deadlines and wishing you had them.
Okay.
So definitely stay encouraged and definitely watch those deadlines.
That's a good point, yeah, to watch the deadlines. Again, we thank you so much for the information that the callers did provide when they called in. I appreciate be found on the FAFSA website. That's FAFSA. I also encourage you to go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics to get information as far as what job you may be interested in or career, and they can give you the money. And we thank you so much. Again, we're from Centers for New Horizons at 4150 South King Drive, Chicago 60653. Our phone number is 773-373-5700. And our website, www.cnh.org. Again, we thank you so much for listening in to Small Talk, and I appreciate you also, Mr. Jacoby. We will see you next week. Thank you so much.